We begin with new developments in Paris, 10 days after that deadly and coordinated terror attacks that killed 130 people. Investigators have found what appears to be an explosive vest in the suburb of Montrouge, and they believe it may be linked to one of the terrorists on the run. CCTV's Kate Parkinson has more on that and key diplomatic meetings in the aftermath of Paris attacks.
British Prime Minister David Cameron laid flowers outside the Bataclan Theatre in Paris, where 89 people were killed in terror attacks, paying homage to the victims as he stood shoulder to shoulder with French President François Hollande. France is pushing for a stronger international coalition against the so-called Islamic State in the wake of the Paris attacks, in which 130 people were killed. President Hollande has said his country is at war, and he wants to know what his British allies will do to help. During strategy talks, Cameron offered to France the use of a British airbase in Cyprus, as well as additional assistance with air-to-air refuelling. The two leaders also agreed to step up efforts to share intelligence to stop extremists. But France also wants British fighter jets to join the bombing campaign in Syria.
La France a pris cette décision, c'était au mois de septembre dernier.
France made the decision in September. The United Kingdom will have to decide how far they can commit. But we are convinced that we must continue to strike the IS group in Syria. We will intensify our strikes, choosing targets that will do the most damage possible to this army of terrorists.
Cameron said Hollande has his full support.
On Friday, the United Nations unanimously backed action against ISIL in Syria and Iraq. And later this week, I will set out in Parliament our comprehensive strategy for tackling ISIL. I firmly support the action that President Hollande has taken to strike ISIL in Syria, and it's my firm conviction that Britain should do so too.
But whether the UK joins France's grand coalition to defeat the Islamic State is a decision for the UK Parliament. David Cameron suffered a humiliating defeat when he last pushed for airstrikes in Syria back in 2013. This time, the French and British leaders will be hoping the outpouring of fury and solidarity in the wake of the Paris terror attacks could tip the British Parliament in favour of authorising British jets to strike Islamic State targets in Syria. Kate Parkinson, CCTV, Paris.